Hello, hi, welcome back or welcome to my podcast. Cheers to my 20s. If you're new here, hi, welcome. This podcast is a tribute to my 20s where I just talk about random stuff honestly and have an existential crisis every other day. And it's really fun here. And if you're watching back, hi, girly, hi. Thank you for watching for a second, third, fourth time. I really appreciate it. So, elephant in the room. I turned 21 last week. I was supposed to upload a video before I turned 21, but my laptop broke down and it's a whole thing, a lot of technical difficulties. I just couldn't, and now we're here, but it's okay. This episode's gonna be like probably an hour long, and I'm just gonna make up for the lost time. And I have some really interesting topics today, and so I think this episode's gonna be like 10 out of 10. So, buckle up. First of all, I'm supposed to have a drink with me right now. But like to get it, I have to go into the kitchen, and my mom's in the kitchen, and I don't want to have that interaction. And like, I don't know. Also, I kind of stole her tablet because my laptop broke, and I needed something to have notes to read from, to like guide me through the episode. So we're not gonna have a drink this time, but like next episode, surely I'll, commit to that bit. Okay. So the first thing I want to start with, which is like kind of heavier. It's not really heavy. I think it's kind of funny now looking back, but basically, on my 20th birthday, I remember talking about it. Like my first episode ever, I remember talking about it and like recapping my 20th birthday and like, going in depth about that. And I remember not being really happy about it. I mean, I just went through a war at the time, so rightfully so. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. So on my 20th birthday, I wrote a letter. Like, it's not really a letter, but it's like birthday thoughts, and it's like this whole note. Like, by the way, my notes app, insane. Like, I write, I don't know, just weird things, and I think a lot, and so I just put down all of the overthinking into a piece of paper. And so I found it the other day, and I was like, oh, that's not. So I'm gonna read it today, and I'm gonna compare how I felt on my 20th birthday to how I felt on my 21st birthday. I feel like I should give context. Okay, so my 20th birthday was like, the war just happened like 4 months before it. And it wasn't great. Like, I wasn't with my all of my family members. I wasn't with all of my friends. And I just like really just got myself a piece of cheesecake, and I went home and I slept. And that was basically it, right? Like nothing. And what made me the most upset is that because like I was planning to it, like I was planning on like inviting my friends over and like going out and doing something special for my 20th birthday, because it's like a special day, because like you're going from your teens to your 20s, and it's just like a cute thing. So I was looking forward to it, but then it got ruined because of a war. And then now my 21st birthday, it was amazing, guys. Like, okay, just to give you a little like what's it called, like a teaser, I got 3 cakes this birthday. I got no cakes last birthday. Well, I got one, but I bought it for myself. This birthday, I got 3 cakes instead of none. So, like, things work out. So, this is the note that I wrote on my 20th birthday last year. And it's titled Birthday Thoughts. And I'm just gonna read it, okay? So, it says, I don't think I have a problem with aging. I just think my issue is with the realization that I have all this time and I don't really know what to fill it with. And because it's finite but immeasurable, the decision making is so difficult because you have to think about so much, like your past, your future, societal expectations, your family's expectations, what you want out of life, and so much more. And every decision has consequences, and it just makes me so anxious and sad because I don't know what to do. What do I do with all of this time? For the past 8 years, I've just been living life on autopilot, and at the age of 12, I noticed that to be of value in this world, you have to do well in school, get perfect grades, graduate with straight A stars, go to uni, and get a job, and that will make my life complete. Surely, it will make me happy. So I did it. Even though no academic field piqued my interest, I still chose the one I would least hate. I even went above and beyond and did all the extracurriculars, got my license, went to the gym, made a ton of friends, and even saw a therapist. My value as a person, I thought, was directly linked to how much I achieve academically, physically, socially, and mentally. And sure, I was achieving so much, yet I was still miserable. Now that the war has taken away so much from me in a blink of an eye, I really do feel empty. All the noise, it kept me busy. It stopped my mind from thinking about how miserable I actually was. Now that all I have is silence, why is it so freaking loud? I don't know what I want to do with my life. I now know my value isn't linked to my achievements. Objectively speaking, I do. But it's hard to accept that because then now what? I now feel like I add no value to this world. I'm just there, with no plans, a lot of freaking time, and an unknown mental illness. I can't keep living like this, with no goals, aspirations, or passions, aimlessly living with no end in sight. It breaks my heart. It saddens me that with all of the loved ones who make life more bearable, I still can't help but think of how good it would feel to sleep and just never wake up. Oh. Like, oh, that's not, that's, but I get it. I kind of get it. Like, honestly, real. Like, that's crazy. Like, this is what I'm trying to say. Like, when I read this and I thought about how I felt at the time and how I feel now, crazy difference. Obviously, I don't feel this way anymore, but it's like it's so intense and I can see some truth to it. Like, I get it. Like, I feel like I felt this way before in my life, not just like my last birthday. And usually I don't really get like existential around my birthday, but I think that one specifically because it was just like such a huge it was a big deal because I was turning like 20 or starting my 20s, but also it's because like I literally just went through a war, like lost everything, like had to start over in a new country, like make new friends. Like, I had no like uni prospects at the time. Like, I didn't know what I was going to do for my education, and I was someone who put so much of my value on academic validation. Like, that was who I am. Like, my grades defined me. And so when I had no academic validation, I didn't go to the gym, I didn't do or pursue any of my passions, like making content on TikTok or whatever it is, right? Like, I was just sitting there like, who am I? Like, what am I going to do with my life? Like, it's, and before the war, like, I had so much going on, like uni, friends, like whatever. Like, I kept busy. Like, my mind was, being occupied. But then the war happened. I was just staying at home all day long, like barely talking to anyone. I was just like so much emptiness, so much time to just think and overthink and feel those feelings and miserable. And I had to deal with how I felt, like I had no distractions. And that's why it was really difficult. And so I get why she felt that way. But I'm just want to tell you, if you felt like, if you related to that like little thing I wrote, like things get better. Because I don't know, there's this thought that I always think about, is that like time will always keep moving. Things will always change, no matter like whether you're having a great time right now or whether you're miserable right now. Like, time will keep moving no matter whether you're ready for it or not. Like, things will change no matter what. And so that thought, like, I think calms me, because like, even though like I've went through horrible times throughout the last year, but I always remember, like, this will pass. Feelings are not infinite, Like, if you feel horrible right now, like, tomorrow, next week, next month, even a couple months from now, like, that feeling will change and your circumstances will change. You're like, they can get better, they can get worse, whatever, but things will always change. And as long as, you've had good times before, you will have good times again at some point in the future. And that's something that calms me, and that's something I can like look forward to. That was just like an interesting thing. But like, enough about all of that. I just want to compare to you that birthday letter and like how I felt at the time, and this birthday, like my 21st birthday. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about it and how like I ended up getting 3 cakes. So the day of, I woke up, actually I didn't wake up. The night before it, I pulled an all-nighter. because I don't know, I was feeling anxious and I was just watching YouTube and shows and stuff, and I was like, I don't know, let me pull an all-nighter, why not? So I started watching this show called Couples Therapy, and oh my god, this show is like, first of all, it's so triggering for no reason. Like, if you're gonna watch it, just know that it's kind of triggering, and like I mean, it's called couples therapy, but the concept is that like they get like seven couples, and this therapist that charges like $500 an hour, and they basically do it for free. But the catch is, right, like two of them, they don't air the therapy sessions online. Like they take five out of the seven. And so the catch is that, like, why would you sign up? You sign up because you're like, what if I'm one of the two and I just get free therapy, couples therapy for months, and my trauma doesn't get aired on TV. And so like that's why a lot of people sign up. And so it's so interesting because like one of the guys is like so narcissistic, and like basically he tells his wife, and the crazy thing is like they are all of these problems, and it's like 7 years married, like 12 years married. And it reminds me of the, what's it called, the sinking ship fallacy or whatever it is, like where you invest so much time in something and like it's not working right now, but you're like, I already invested so many years, I have to keep swimming, like I have to keep pursuing this thing. So I don't know, it's just very cool, very interesting. But the problem is, because I watched that show, I got triggered. Of course I got triggered. Like, am I stupid? I don't know why I thought it was a good idea. So I got really anxious because of it. Because I got invested in the like storylines, and I was crying with them. Like whenever they would share something vulnerable, I would just start crying with them because I'm like, that's so sad. But anyways, فالمهم I just started crying, and then I got really anxious, and I was like, okay, whatever. I slept at like 9 a.m. And then I woke up at like 4 p.m. And again, like my expectations for this birthday, like very mid, nothing cool is gonna happen. It's fine, I'll just go to sleep and it's just gonna be another day. Like, it's cool. I acted cool about it, but part of me was a little bit sad because I don't know, I feel like birthdays are kind of special. Like, they're the only day that you get to make things about you, like, and nobody's like, oh, you're being narcissistic. Like, I feel like it's because it's so easy for us to be mean to ourselves, like in our heads or in reality or whatever it is. Like, it's so easy to be mean to yourself and point out your faults and do all of that, and I always do that to myself. But it's the only day where you can be like, no, actually I deserve that piece of cake, or like I deserve to do something nice or celebrate. Like, it's like, it's your chance to be kind to yourself. It's like a self-love day, and like, I don't know, it's pretty cool. And so, but yeah, I wanted it to be special, but it wasn't. I was like, it's fine, it happens. And then that same day I was planning on meeting one of my friends. So I woke up at 4 p.m. I got ready, I went and met my friend at like 8 p.m. and like she got this whole birthday surprise thing. Like, she got me the office themed cake. Guys, you don't understand. Like, remember how in my first episode ever I spoke about how me loving The Office is a green flag? Like, and I genuinely believe this. Like, my obsession with The Office is such a huge green flag because it's like so funny. Like, why would I not make it my whole personality trait? And so basically she got me The Office themed cake where it said, it is your birthday period. And it's just so funny, and it was the cutest thing ever. It was a mini cake, like the ones on Pinterest. It was so adorable. I think I'll put an image here. But yeah, it was just like so cute, and she got balloons, and like she paid for dinner and everything, and I was like, and the food, I had like a burger, and burgers are my favorite food ever. I'm just like, this is the sweetest thing ever. And it's like the thought that counts, the fact that it's The Office themed, and the fact that, like, I don't know, just the idea that she wanted to surprise me with something. Like, it was so wholesome. I loved it. Like, it genuinely made my day, and I just got to chit chat with her, like, and just catch up, and like, I don't know, it just like really made my day. And so that happened. Oh, also, before I went to meet my friend, my mom also got me a cake. Like, even though I ordered it, but like I said I want to order it, it's fine. I got a honey cake, and then my friend got me like a chocolate cake, and it was 10 out of 10. Really good. Loved it. Love and peace. Like, it was 10 out of 10 day. So then I went to sleep, and it was great and it was really fun. And then a few days later, I had this like pool day thing, like where again the same friend that surprised me for my birthday, she kind of planned it, and it was so cute, and it was all girls, and it was so fun, and we ate our food. أكلنا ورق عنب, and guys, أنا بحب ورق العنب. Like it's like if I could, I would inject ورق عنب into my veins. Like it's so good for no reason. I love it. 10 out of 10, you know. So أكلنا ورق عنب, مكرونة بالبشاميل, and like I think chicken strips and a bunch of other food. But the food was great. I love swimming. Like I think I swam for like maybe 6 hours straight. Like I swam for a really long time. Like the second I got into the water, I was like, I'm not leaving until the last second, you know. But the downside to that is that the next day when I got home, my body like broken. Like it's the same feeling when you go to the gym and you work out without stretching. Like imagine going to the gym for the first time. You don't stretch, you don't do any like, you know, pre-gym workout. Like you just go in, you go to the gym for like 3 4 5 hours for the first time, and then you go home. Like that feeling, like your whole body like مكسر, you know. And so I felt horrible, especially the next morning. You guys don't understand. Like my neck, my arms, my back, like my whole body hurt like crazy. And it's like I texted my friend. I was like, "This must be how hangovers feel like." Like if I could imagine what a hangover would feel like this has to be it because it was crazy. And so I felt really horribly. But the thing is, I promised my friends that we're gonna hang out that day, and I didn't want to flake, like, because I hate doing that. Like it's really shitty. So I was like, okay, I'll still go. But then guess what? I get my period. So now I have my whole body aches, it hurts like crazy. I'm on my period and I'm sleep deprived. And so it's like 3 for 3. And I feel horrible. But I'm still like, honestly, like the main reason why I went is like I started thinking about it, and I'm like, girl, like I thought about it. I was like, I literally have a friend group of girls who want to hang out with me and have a girls' night. Like I'm going. I don't care if it's the last thing I have to do in my life. Like I'm going. Like this is something I've always wanted. Like not always wanted, but like for the last year, like having a friend group of girls that I can go out with and hang out with, like it's just everything I ever wanted. Like, and I just want to give you context like to why this means so much to me, and why like thinking about that made me giggle and kick my feet in my bed, because I'm like, wow, like I made it in life. Like this is great. Because I remember when I first started going to uni, I remember when I was like signing up and stuff, I was walking in and I remember this very vividly, and there was a group of friends sitting to like my left or like my right, and they were just sitting there and they were laughing out loud. Like I don't know, someone said something funny, I don't know what it is, but they were laughing out loud and like having a great time. And when I saw them, like that was, I think, the most jealous I've ever felt in my life. I felt so sad because I was like, I want that. Like, you know, like I felt jealousy like in deep in my heart, because I was like, I had that one day and now I don't. And like they seem like they're having a great time, and I, you know, and it just made me so sad because I'm like, okay, well now my friends are all over in different countries and I can't really like, you know, do that with them. And I didn't have any like friend group at the time, and so it just made me feel really sad, and like I almost cried. I'm not even kidding you. Like that's how much that like incident affected me. Like I almost cried. And so I was like, girl, like I know you're feeling like shit, but like you have friends to hang out with, and like dress cute, wear dresses, and just go and hang out and chill and chit chat and have a fun time. Like of course you're going. Like I don't care. So I don't know, I pushed myself, I got ready, I did my makeup, and I went to hang out with them. I get in the car with my friends, we go to pick up a friend of mine, and they basically told me that she's in the park with her family and we just need to pick her up and then go to my other friend's house. So that's the plan. We get to the park, we're standing outside. I'm like, just call her, you know, let her come outside and we can take an Uber and go to the friend's house. And then they're basically like, her mom insisted that we have to come in and say hi to her and like, you know, say hi to her family and all of that. And like, you know how Sudani families are, like, you know, if they say something, you don't really want to like go against it or like whatever. So I'm like, okay, let's just go along with it. You know, if she insisted, it's fine. But like I was also like, why are we paying 40 جنيه just to go and say hi and then leave? Like that's crazy. But my friend was like, no, it's fine, we'll just do it, it's okay. فالمهم, we go inside, And like we're walking in, and I'm just like, waiting to see like my friends, like family, right? So we walk in, and like all of a sudden I see the friend that's like we're supposed to go to her house. And I'm like, pause. I'm just like, something is off here, because like, why are you here? We're supposed to go to your house. And so basically I look down, and there's like cake, and there's flowers, and there's balloons, and I'm like, whoa. And everyone starts singing happy birthday, and I'm like, I've never been this bamboozled in my life, okay? The gaslighting that I got gaslit, guys, I did not think about it, like, at all. I was shocked, flabbergasted, like, what is happening? And, like, honestly, the fact that I got 2 birthday surprise parties in 1 week, like, what is going on? My ops are losing. Like, it's the first time ever I was like, wait, ops are actually losing. I'm the one who's winning. Like, that's crazy. And I think part of the reason why I didn't see it coming is because, like, this friend group, I feel like all of them are a lot closer to each other than they are to me. Because, like, I don't know, there was just a period of time where I wasn't super close to them. And I sometimes feel it, like, you know how, like, when you hang out with someone for a really long time, like, you catch up on their lore, like, you just know tiny details about them that, like, without thinking, you just like caught on to them, like as you just hang out with them. And so I feel like a lot of these small details about them, like, I don't know, and they know about each other. And so I remember that, and I'm like, oh, like, like, it's fine. Like, I still love them, and I still love hanging out with them, and I still love enjoying, like, I still enjoy hanging out with them. It's just like they're a lot closer to each other than they are to me. And so I was like, I just didn't expect it. Like, I was like, if anyone's gonna get a birthday party, it wouldn't be me. I would be the last person to, for this to happen to. And it was just so sweet. Like, it was the cutest thing ever. The cake was adorable. The flowers. They had a charcuterie board, guys. Like, listen, I'm a Pinterest girly, okay? Like, I love Pinterest. I keep pinning things, and I'm like, aesthetic stuff. And whenever, like, I see an aesthetic thing, like, made for me in real life, like, oh my god, like, the mini cake that my other friend got me, and like the charcuterie board, like, these are things I see on the internet. I haven't seen them in real life before, and it's just like, you made that for me. And it had like grapes and apples. It was so adorable, and the cake was so good. Like, oh my god. And I was so shocked, and I had a moment of like, wow, like, I have friends who make, like, do things for me, and like, because they love me and they care about me. And it's like, I started crying, because I'm like, listen, I could have held back the tears. This is the thing about me, like, I'm a very, like, well, I know sensitive person has negative connotations, but I'll say I'm a sensitive person. But at the same time, like, بقدر أكل في حناني if I want to, like, like, لما أكون دايرة to, like, hold it in, and just, like, I don't know, if I'm doing finals or whatever and bad stuff is happening, like, بقدر أكل في حناني, I can keep it pushing. I can hold back the emotions. I can hold back the tears. But I also love my vulnerability. Like, if I feel like crying and I'm around people that I love and I care about, and they're my friends, I'll let the tears fall. I don't care. I don't really feel like crying is a sense of weakness. I honestly view it as vulnerability, and I feel like vulnerability is kind of brave, because I feel like we're at the time where, like, even now, even though, like, mental health is like a big thing and it's normalized, and it's like, feel your feelings or whatever, I feel like it's still frowned upon to be emotional and feel your feelings and cry or whatever near your friends or whatever it is. But, like, I don't know, I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, if I'm feeling emotional, I'll let myself feel it, because there's no point in suppressing how you feel. Like, what's the point? Okay, I look baller, I look cool, I look tough, but, like, then what? Like, who cares? If you want to cry, if you want to scream, if as long as you're not hurting someone, and you're punching people and stuff. But, like, other than that, feel your feelings, man. Like, nobody cares. Anyways, so I just started tearing up, because I'm like, this is so cute. Like, okay, I'll put a picture of the picnic thing here. So cute. But anyways, so we ate the cake, we talked, and the whole time I'm like, I'm bamboozled, I'm gaslit, my reality shifted. Like, anyways, فالمهم, it was really cute. We chit-chatted, we hung out, um that day, the oh my god, wait, I have the flowers here next to me. I wanted to show it to you guys because it's so cute, and the flowers are my favorite color. They're white and lilac. It's kind of dead now, but like, I don't know, I don't know if you can see it well, but they're so cute, like crazy, like wow. Anyways, they're just so adorable, and it's just like the thought that counts, like the attention to detail. It's just very thoughtful. Like honestly, I'm the type of person, you don't need to pay anything to like make me happy. It's just like, just be thoughtful. Like I'm a yapper. I'm always talking about things I love and things I care about and things that mean a lot to me. And like I'm always talking about how I feel and what I like and what I dislike. And so if you just listen, like you'll know what to get me on my birthday. Like you'll just know how to make me happy. It's I'm a simple person. Like genuinely, if it was just flowers, I would have still cried. I would have still been like wow, like 10 out of 10. Like I ate, from yeah, I don't know, it was fun. It was fun. The park closed early that day, so we went back to one of my friends' houses, and we started like just talking, getting to know each other. And I'm if anything, if you want to know one thing about me, is that I'm the yapper friend. Like, and I'm the person who's like, all of a sudden I just start asking like deep questions, like, tell me about your childhood traumas, or like tell me about one thing, like that you've seen in your parents that you don't want to teach to your kids. Like out of nowhere, I'll just bring up these like deep questions or whatever, like because I like getting to know people and how they think and their personalities and things in their past that make them who they are. And like, I don't know, I just love getting to know people. Like I don't care what your background is, I don't care who or what or why, like I just want to know you. Like I'm very interested in people and learning their patterns and learning like how they think and how they're feeling. Like I just love hearing people speak. So I don't know, I'm that friend who always just asks random questions, and we just started answering random questions, and it was so much fun because it gives people a chance to be vulnerable and like talk about themselves. And like, I don't know, it's just really cute and wholesome, and it was so much fun. And then I went home and I slept, and it was one of the best days ever. And so, moral of the story, right? I'm just saying all of this to say that I wanted to last year when I was in my 20th birthday, and now I'm feeling great, okay? Things are not perfect. Horrible things have happened in the last couple of months, okay? I shouldn't be this happy, but I am. And like, it's fine. And like, things do get better. Like, my life is not perfect right now. I have problems. I have problems. But I don't know, I'm at a point in my life, I just stopped taking things too seriously. Like, yeah, feel your feelings, be mad about things, be upset about things. I don't believe in suppressing your emotions, because they're gonna come back and they're gonna bite you. And so, like, yeah, be upset about things, but also let them go. Like, like I hate it, because I used to be the person who holds on. Like, I hold resentment like no one else, okay? I hold on to things, I hold on to feelings, I hold on to whatever it is, right? And I just sit in it for so long, and it was really bad for my mental health. I don't know, I'm a point in my life right now where like I experience things, I get sad about them, I get mad about them, I cry about them, whatever it is, and I let it go. And sure, I can be fine for a couple weeks, and then I get mad about it again a few weeks later. But we'll deal with that when that happens. But I just don't take things as seriously anymore. And I have problems. Like, yeah, I do. I have serious issues. Like, I have serious issues. Sounds like I have mental issues. Which true, but like, that's besides the point. But all I'm saying is that things do get better. Like, my life was so much worse a year ago, and it's so much better now, and we're still working on it. And I know problems will keep coming up. But yeah, like, it happens. And I remember last episode I was talking about like, friendships and having existential crises and like losing friends, and like, and you know what I did? I texted all those friends, and I talked to them, and I confronted them about how I was feeling, and we talked it through. And some of them, we talked through it, things are fine now. Some of them, I'm still talking about it with them. But like, genuinely communicate. Like, listen, I communicate on a serial level. Like, I'm a serial communicator, and it's difficult. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not that I enjoy it and I'm okay with it. Confrontation is hard, even with the people you love the most. Like, uncomfortable conversations will always be uncomfortable. Like, it's never fun. But I still push myself and I do it and I'm honest and I communicate because I care about those friendships. And I feel like oh my god, one thing I hate is pushing things under the rug or like leaving things unsaid. Like it makes me so anxious because like if I leave things unsaid, it's in my head and it's gonna keep playing. Okay, I'm going to sleep, I'm thinking about it. I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking about it. I see a TikTok, I'm reminded of it, I'm thinking about it. So the worst thing ever is silence, like just not saying anything and knowing that something is off, like in my friendships or whatever it is. Like, you know when something's off, you know something's messed up, like, or something just feels off. And when both people just like decide to like not address it, it eats away at my soul. Like, please. And I know it's gonna be uncomfortable, but I also know that talking about it like will help so much. Like afterwards, like, yes, it's gonna be uncomfortable, but that discomfort is gonna go away once we like are completely honest and we talk and we air shit out and like we move on. But just sitting there in that feeling and just like not addressing things, oh, I hate it, like, you know. And it's like, and I know like a lot of people are like, oh, if you bring something up that happened like a year ago or a couple months ago or whatever it is, like, you know, it's unnecessary. Like, it shows like, you know. Okay, wait, this is, I'm going on a tangent here, but you know how like a lot of people, someone does you dirty and they're like, I'm not gonna block them because then they know that I care and then they know that like this thing is bothering me and I don't even care, so I'm not gonna block them. Like, I hate how we're so obsessed with acting nonchalant. Like, of course you care. Like, if someone does you dirty, it doesn't matter how bad it is, you get to be upset and you get to show that you care. Of course of course I care, of course I'm upset, you know. And yeah, like, I'll block you because I'm mad, I'm upset. Like, you know, if to you knowing that you upset me means that you won, then win, bro. Like, I don't, like, do you get me? Like, I hate this whole thing of like acting nonchalant and like, not, I'm unfazed, like nothing bothers me. Like, yeah, I'm bothered and I get to be bothered and I don't care if it's not that big of a deal. If my feelings are hurt, then my feelings are hurt. Like, people's triggers are different. Like, something that's not offensive to you can be offensive to me, and it's just like I get to be mad, you know. And like, I don't know. And I know it's really uncomfortable to tell someone like, hey, you hurt my feelings, or like, hey, like, to be vulnerable is, it sucks, right? Especially when the other person doesn't reciprocate. But honestly, I learned a lesson that, like, because I had an issue with someone before, a friend, and I chose to stoop down to their level because I remember confronting them and being honest with them, and they chose to lie to me. And when I learned that they lied to me, I chose to stoop down to their level and I acted passive aggressive, right? I acted passive aggressive and I blocked them, right? And at the time, I felt happy about it because I'm like, you know, this is how it feels when someone's, you know, dishonest with you. But then months later, I started feeling bad about it because I was like, that's not me, you know. Like, you know, I felt bad about it, not necessarily because like they didn't deserve it, but I felt bad about it because it's like I'm still bothered because I didn't get to be honest. I didn't get to like say what's on my chest, you know. I said it in a passive aggressive way instead of a direct way, and it's just not me, you know. And that just taught me a lesson that, like, in the moment it might feel good to be passive, or like it might feel good at the moment to just not address it, run away. The easiest thing to do is to just to not respond, right? Run away from the issue, don't talk about it, like, whatever, brush it under the rug, or be aggressive about it, scream, like, say things you'll regret. Like, it's so easy to do that. It's so easy to be passive aggressive because then, like, you can't be called out on it, right? Like, you get to say your passive aggressive comment, and then when someone's like, what's wrong, you're like, no, you're being crazy, and you get to gaslight the person, right? It's so easy to do all of these things, right? But then honestly, after a while, it just doesn't feel good. Like, it's just it me personally, every time I've been passive or aggressive or passive aggressive, months later I look back and I'm like I cringe at myself because I'm like, that's not me. Like, that just feels wrong, you know. And so I know, as hard as it is to confront people and be honest and be upfront, I still choose to do it. And I also expect people to do the same, which is like, I know is too much to ask for sometimes, but I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, I got passionate about that for a second because, like, I'm experiencing those things right now, and that's why I'm like, I feel so strongly about them. But yes, text your friends. If you have an issue, talk it out, air it out, just whatever. And also, while you air it out, another important aspect of that is just be understanding. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I don't care what your excuse is. I don't care, not in the sense that I don't care. I don't care in the sense that I will always give you the benefit of the doubt. So just be honest with me. Like, I will always be like, okay, yeah, like their intention was good, you know? And the intention can be good, but like, you know, the action can be wrong, and that's fine. Like, I don't think your actions define who you are. Just because you did something that hurt me doesn't mean you're a bad person, or that like I hate you now. It's just like, just I like hearing your perspective on things. That's why I confront people, because like I want to know their POV, their way of thinking, like how they felt when they did that, like, you know. And it makes me understand them a lot more. And I don't think after hearing that, like, I would hold on a grudge. Like, I'll just let it go, you know? But yeah, anyways, sorry. Communicate is very important. 10 out of 10, highly recommended. And my friendships are so much better now because of it. So, love and peace. The next segment is 20 things I've learned before 20, okay? And so these are the list of things I learned in the last 20 years of my life. I just turned 21, so technically I've lived for 20 years so far. And I don't know, I'll just go through the list and talk a bit about some of the things. And it's gonna make the video a lot longer, but I don't care, okay? Because I feel like they're important lessons, and I feel like, I don't know, compared to a lot of people, it's because of how much I overthink, how much I analyze things, how much I analyze, like, and I self-reflect. I think I'm a pretty mature person. Like, I would say for my age, I feel like I think with the maturity of like a 25 or like a 30-year-old, even though I'm 20. Obviously, I still have a lot of life lessons to learn and life experiences to live, but so far I think, you know, I have a good moral compass. I have a good mindset. Okay, so let's just start. The first one. Number 1. Stop arguing with stupid, stubborn people. It's just not worth it. And that's so true. You're gonna meet a lot of people in your life who are just arguing to argue. Stubborn people. And a lot of people who are just simply stupid. They're stupid, they don't understand your perspective, they don't want to understand your perspective. They're just arguing to argue. And so just don't argue with them. Let it go. Who cares? Let them win. You know, I'm like, you know what, you're right. You're right. You win this argument. Good for you. And that's just a new mindset I have. Okay, the second one is people grow apart and it's okay. And by this, I mean, like, even, and this is a new lesson I learned, honestly, is that, like, and grow apart doesn't necessarily mean that you love people less. It just means that they're not actively in your life anymore. Like, okay, I had a lot of friends in Sudan who I saw on a daily basis, right? And I would talk to them almost every day, and we would catch up and we would talk, and it was great. But then now they're in different countries, and I'm here, and like, each one of us has new friends, and like, and not necessarily like the new friends are the reason why we don't talk as much anymore, but it's just like things will occupy your life, you know, like uni or whatever it is, like family, like things happen, you know, like internships, work, like just different things will occupy more time from your life, and you have less and less time to dedicate to talking to your friends. And that's not an excuse, and I really still believe that if a friendship means enough to you, you should dedicate like maybe 30 minutes every weekend. Is not that crazy, you know, to send your friends a voice note, to update them on your life, and like stay in contact. Like, obviously with effort, a friendship can still, like, you know, continue thriving even if life happens. But at the same time, some friendships will just naturally grow apart, and it's okay. Like, you know, like it made me really sad to think about, because I had friends, like, I knew what's happening in their lives on a weekly basis. Like, I know what's happening in their life like next week or last week, and like I'm informed, like, you know, I'm actively in their life and they're in my life. But then because of work or uni or exams or finals or whatever it is, like, that stopped happening, and then because, specifically because they're like my best friends, it felt really bad. Like, it sucked, because it's like the people who I want to know more about their lives the most, like, I don't even care what info it is. Like, I don't care if you had the most boring weekend ever, like, I still want to know about it. And so it sucked, and it was really hard for me to accept that like I'm not talking to them on a weekly basis, and I have no idea what's happening in their life in the last month or the upcoming month. I have no idea what's happening, and they have no idea what's happening in my life. And especially because whenever something exciting happens in my life or sad, the first person I want to text is my best friend, like, obviously. But because of, again, work, school, whatever it is, we don't really talk like that anymore. Like, we still talk, but it's like once a month we have a call and we catch up. And so just the switch of dynamics between talking once a week or like every day to once a month really hurt a lot, and it just made me really sad. And obviously your mind starts overthinking. I'm like, do they not like me anymore, whatever, like, do they not care? But then I reflected and I was like, no, that's not it. Like, I genuinely believe that they love me, they care about me, I love them, I care about them. Like, none of that has changed. It's just like life happens. And should I probably put in more effort to still stay in each other's lives, or at least talk once a week? Like, yes. Like, that's a thing that I get to be sad about. That's the thing I get to want to change and talk to them about. That's what I'm doing right now. But even if your dynamic with your best friends change from talking once a week to once a month, it sucks, but it happens. And I don't think it changes how they feel about you, and it doesn't change how I feel about them. And so it's not a matter of love or care. It's just life. And it sucks and it hurts, but it happens. The third thing is, I think, listen, I go through man hating phases. Like, I have phases where I'm like, I hate men so much, and like, and I'm pretty sure I wrote this in one of those phases. So it says, it's a man's world and we're just living in it. And which is kind of true. I mean, like, the patriarchy is pretty much real. So it is a man's world and we are just living in it. But you know what? I also learned to love my girlhood over time, and like, there's a lot of positives to living life as a girl. Like, and I know that sounds like such a copium answer. It sounds like such a cop out answer, but it's true, and I'll talk about that in another time. The fourth thing is, it says world leaders don't care about humanitarian issues. It's all about achieving their national interests and improving their financial situation. Yeah, so I think I was taking political science at the time, and I was really mad about like the whole Palestine Israel situation, and like nobody cares, and like how the US, it doesn't matter if they're Democrats or Republicans, they're just gonna still fund Israel and bomb nations, and the UAE doesn't care, they're still gonna smuggle gold from Sudan, and like, it's a bit sad. This is why I always say politics is very depressing, because genuinely, like, no one cares. Like, they really don't care. Like, they can say they care, they can act like they care, they can do like a little statement that where they say they care, but they don't really care. Every single country in the world, they care about their national interests over any humanitarian issue ever. I don't know, it just made me really sad. So I don't know. 5, it says brush your teeth every day before you sleep. Dentists are expensive, and that's a Luffy guarantee. Like, I'm not even kidding you, y'all. Like, you need to brush your teeth when you wake up and before you go to sleep, because I had a lot of cavities and they're expensive to fix, hell of expensive. So brushing your teeth costs you nothing. It might be annoying, sometimes I forget, but try your best to brush your teeth every single day when you wake up, before you go to sleep. Genuinely, you'll thank me later. It's just very important. Okay. 6, it says making fun of something someone else can't change is never okay, whether it's looks, race, financial situation, etc. So that's true. Listen, am I gonna sit here and say I've never made fun of how someone looks, or I've never made fun of something someone else can't change? No, I've made mistakes in the past. I've done it. Sometimes I understand it comes out of anger, or you're just really pissed off, you want to hurt someone, and so you just make fun of these things. I've never made fun of them like in front of their faces, but definitely behind their backs. Like, I was like, I made comments that I'm not proud of, but I genuinely, reflecting back, it's never okay. Like, it's never okay for the butt of the joke to be how someone looks, or how much someone weighs, or like their race, or like how poor they are, how rich they're, like, whatever it is. Like, I know you want to hurt that person, but I think it's much more hurtful because it's like there's other people who look like them. There's other people who look exactly like them, who are in the same situation as them, and when you make fun of them for that thing, you're basically making fun of everyone else who is like them. you know? And it's really messed up, you know? And it's also like these are things they can't change. Like you can make fun of someone because of how they act. Like that was their choice, you know? But like their looks is just really nasty. It's just, yeah, you shouldn't do that. Number 7, it says wash your face and moisturize it twice a day and change your pillowcase frequently. This one is if you want clear skin, you know, if you want clear skin, you don't want to have acne, genuinely wash your face and moisturize it every day twice and change your pillowcase regularly. You'll thank me later. 8, it says it's okay to choose your peace over others. This one's so important. Heavy on this one. Because, like, I don't know. I've been in a period where, like, I choose my peace a lot of the time. And that can come at the cost of losing friendships. That can come at the cost of, I don't know, maybe not seeing your family as much. This can come at the cost of so many things that you love and care about. But I'm at an age where like it's genuinely my peace over anything. Like yes, I have like love for people and for things, but it's still like sometimes things are not worth it, you know? I even, this applies to even like sometimes I want to go out and my mom is like no. And like when I was younger, when I was a teenager, like I would argue when I would be really mad. I'll be like, how dare you say, you know, like I get really mad. But I'm at a point where I'm just like, if she says no, then like I don't care. Like I don't care enough to argue about it. I'm just like, okay, I'll stay home. It's really not that deep. It's really not that deep. I know FOMO is real, but like whatever. Number 9, it says you need to develop healthy habits in your 20s to set up a healthy life in your 30s. This one, I think I saw it somewhere online. I'm not sure where. But basically, it's saying like in your 20s, try to like make it a habit to eat healthy, make it a habit to exercise, make it a habit to, I don't know, stop gossiping or backbiting people, like make it a habit to pray regularly, like whatever it is you want your life to look like in your 30s, like make it a habit in your 20s so that it's just second nature now. Like, you know, you're not forcing yourself to be healthy, you just are. And I don't know, I saw this one, I'm like, actually bars, like that's, wow, interesting. So yeah, I just started my 20s, and so I'm trying to like, you know, work in some healthy habits so that like by the time I'm 30 it's just my life, you know. Okay, so number 10, it says pursue your creative passions as early as possible because you'll regret it later. And that one is so true, like especially, and I say creative passions because like, you know, they're usually, it's like, okay, if you're Sudanese, your parents are like, okay, like you want to be a YouTube. Oh my god, imagine telling your Sudani mom or dad that you want to be a YouTuber. Like that's crazy. You will, you know, you'll see a ship flying through your face because like that's crazy, you know. You want to be a photographer, girl, be so for real. Like if I remember hearing this quote, I don't know who said it, but they were like, if you're Sudani, I think they said some other like nationality, but it also applies. They basically said if you're Sudani, you have 3 options as a career. You're either a doctor, an engineer, or a disappointment. And that's true, right? Like that's how parents think. And so like sure, go do your, I don't know, medicine major, do your, okay, med school is really difficult to also pursue your creative passions while you're doing that, but still, whatever major you go into, try on the side, on your free time, on weekends, pursue your creative passions, whether it's drawing, music, singing, art, like making YouTube videos, making TikToks. Like do it because you're young and nobody cares. Like genuinely, no one cares. Like I started my podcast when I'm 20, 21. Like nobody cares. Like yes, is it embarrassing to sit in a room by myself and talk to a camera and be cringe and overshare about my life? Yes, it's cringe and it's embarrassing, but literally no one cares. And I'm gonna look back at this when I'm 30 and I'm gonna be so happy I did it. I'm gonna be so happy I documented my life. I did something that makes me happy. And I'm not saying by the time you're 30 you still can't pursue your creative passions, but I'm saying you'll regret not starting earlier, you know? And I don't know, it's like, and who knows, it might be really fun. It can fulfill your life. It can be something to do. Like I don't know, I just think it's so true. And yeah, just if you're young and you're a teen or a 20-year-old, or like I don't know, even if you're in your mid 20s, late 20s, whatever it is, even if you're 30, the younger you are, like you'll never be as young as you are today. Like, you know, a year later you're gonna definitely be older, and it's just you're gonna regret not starting. And so just start. And like, this is something that was making me not start for the longest time, is like, I don't have the right equipment, right? I don't have the right mic, I don't have the right camera. You'll never start if you get the perfect setup. Like, I started this podcast, um I used a mini mic that was so horrible. The audio quality was disgusting. But I started, and now literally like months later, now I have a professional mic, you know? And like my audio quality is so much better, and I'm literally filming on my phone, you know? And the what's it called, my tripod is broken. Musabitaha bibanda. Like, you know, like it's so bad. And my laptop broke down. What did I do? I got an adapter for my mic. Like, you'll adapt, you'll grow. Like, you're like, start anywhere. It doesn't matter how bad the quality is. Slowly by slowly you'll keep improving it, you know? And yeah, I just start your passions as early as you can and pursue it and do whatever you want. Because like, honestly, you're the only person stopping. Well, okay, like obviously sometimes there's things that are actually stopping you from doing it, but if you can, as bad as it is, just do it. Film that TikTok, who cares? People will make fun of you, who cares? Like, genuinely, like, you know, they're not doing something great with their life, they're not doing something fun, like you are. So who cares? You know, start your YouTube channel, you know, paint, start, like whatever it is. I love when I see my friends doing creative things, like making TikToks or making YouTube videos. That makes me see them like as so cool. But then when I do it, I'm like, this is so embarrassing. Like, no, it's not. Who cares? Number 11 says, always carry a pen, extra money, passport photos, and an ID with you. And this one's like such a such a mom advice, but it's so true. Like, I feel like so many times in my life where I just needed a pen and I didn't have it. So just always carry a pen in your bag. And yeah, extra money is very important. Sometimes you get stranded, like, I don't know, things happen. Just carry some extra cash with you. Passport photos, like, you know, like the mini photos that you go take at a studio, like just carry them with you. Sometimes you need them out of nowhere. I don't know how, but like, I don't know, it happens. And an ID is very important, because like, I don't know, sometimes you need your ID. You just do, out of nowhere, you never see it coming. So these are things to keep in your bag, and it's gonna come in handy. Number 12 says, always engage in curiosity and empathy before jumping to judgment. And that is so real. I don't know, just be empathetic, be mindful, be demure, you know, before judging someone, because you really never know what someone's going through. Number 13 says, take advantage of your fast metabolism because it will go away. Trust. Okay, this one's a big one, okay? When I was growing up, right, I was always on the thinner side. Relax, like, I feel like I got body shamed for being too thin. Like, that was my thing. Like, I was very thin, like, I looked kind of malnourished. And I had a really fast metabolism, so I just always ate whatever I wanted. But now that I'm in my 20s, right, I don't know, man, like, I notice it, like, when I eat food, like, I get bloated all of a sudden, and I'm like, what's happening? So if you're young and you have a high metabolism, take advantage of it, eat whatever you want, have fun, go crazy, because it will go away one day, and you'll be like, oh, I have to watch what I eat. So yeah. Number 14 says, add any form of physical exercise to your life. It will drastically help your mental health. This one's very important. Again, especially if you're young, if it can turn into a habit. Any form of physical exercise, whether it's going to the gym, playing a sport you like, going on walks, like Pilates, workout at home, like yoga, just any form of physical exercise. It helps so much in different ways. When I used to go on walks every day, like, it fixed my sleeping schedule. I'm a person who struggles with insomnia. Like, it genuinely was the cure. Like, my sleeping schedule is good because by the time I get home, I'm exhausted. My whole body aches. And so I just sleep, right? Like, because I'm too exhausted. And so it fixed my sleeping schedule. It fixed my mental health, specifically because I used to go on walks, and just like looking around and just like listening to music helped my mood a lot. And I think the walking also helped. So it fixed my mental health. It fixed my sleeping schedule. It helped my stamina. Like, it's just a win-win-win situation. Number 15 says, Being delusional is crucial to staying happy. True. Like, be delusional, bro. If I wasn't delusional, I wouldn't start a podcast. If I wasn't delusional, I wouldn't make TikToks. If I wasn't delusional, I would not be happy. And being delusional encompasses thinking that you're good enough to do things. Like, it pushes you to do whatever you want because you're just delulu and you're like, I can do it. And so you just do it. So I feel like a certain level of delusion is important because if you take things too seriously and you take your life too seriously and you take yourself too seriously, you're never gonna do anything you like. You're not gonna go for it because you're like thinking about all the realistic, consequences and things. And like, obviously, like, think things through, but also be delulu. And delusion helped with my self-image a lot as well. Like, you know what, I can rock that hair color, I can rock that outfit. Like, just be delusional, and honestly, at a certain point you start believing it. I was delusional about how good I look, and then now I actually believe it. Like, I don't think I'm a 10 out of 10, but I'm at least a 7. Like, okay, not at least, but like, I think I'm like a 6 or a 7. And it's like, be delusional. Like, yeah, I have days where I feel like a 3, but on a good day I'm an 8. Like, when I have my hair done, my makeup done, like cute outfit on, like, I can go up to an 8. And so I don't know, just be delulu. Number 16, it says, girlhood is so wonderful, I just never realized. And that's true. Like, I feel like when you're an adolescent and you're just like, I don't know, you're growing up, like, there's a lot of things you realize you hate. Like, I remember vividly when I was in like high school, beginning of high school, I just realized the concept of misogyny and sexism and how unfair the world is for women, and I was so mad about it. I was so upset. I hated being a woman. As sometimes I still do. Like, there's a lot of things that suck about it, given that there's, we live in a patriarchy, and it's just a lot of things suck. But now that I'm in my 20s, like, I'm starting to reflect, and some things I'm actually really grateful for. Like, I don't know, the emotional maturity that comes with being a woman. Like, again, from a really young age, we have a lot of expectations, a lot of pressure on us to grow up, to be better, to do better. Like, we're held at such a high standard compared to men, and that forces us to mature faster. And just like, I don't know, it forces us also to have better emotional, like, intelligence from a really young age, and that's something I'm proud of. Like, I love how considerate I am, how much I think of things. I love, like, my emotional intelligence. It helps me to be a better person to other people, and it helps me understand myself more and my emotions more. And I love that I can be vulnerable and not be shamed for it. Like, how, I mean, like, yeah, like, some things that, like, came out of that struggle made me who I am today, and they made me a better person, and like, I like that. I also love, like, girlhood and having friendships with women. Like, at least I got lucky and I had amazing friendships with women, and I appreciate them so much. It's just like one of the best things in life is my friendships with women, and so that's something about girlhood that I took for granted or didn't realize the importance of, and I didn't appreciate it. And now I'm like, if I grew up as a man, like, they don't experience the experiences we had, like the sleepovers we have, like just doing each other's hairs and makeup and nails. And I love that. Like, that's amazing. You get to be just a girl. Like, I can use the excuse I'm just a girl, and it's true. Like, I can just, mess up, and I'm like, I'm just a girl, and it's valid, as I should. Obviously, I'm joking, but like, yeah, there's good things that come with girlhood, and I'm just appreciating them more now. Number 17 says, never let go of your childlike wonder. As an adult, it's okay to be silly and do things that will make little you happy. And that's true. Like, I feel like, again, as we grow older, we take ourselves too seriously, and we're like, ooh, adulthood and problems and issues and bills and whatever it is. Like, you know what, you get to be silly sometimes. You get to do cringe things, you get to do embarrassing things, you get to, like, just make things or do things that make younger you happy. One of my favorite things now is doing things that make, like, I don't know, 10-year-old Luffy happy, like, and things that make me proud. And I don't know, just, it's okay to be silly when you're older. It's fine. It's really not that deep. Number 18 says, time will pass no matter what, if you're ready or not, so bad moments, emotions will always end. It's a comforting thought. And this is the thing I mentioned earlier, like, for real, like, genuinely, time will pass no matter what, if you're ready or not. Like that's a thought that I always remember when I'm in a bad going through a bad time, because it's like it will pass, like, and things will change, you know? And so you will never feel this horrible forever. Like that's just matter of fact, you won't. Number 19, trust your instincts. And this is heavy, okay? Especially if any woman is listening to me right now. Trust your instincts. Again, instincts are basically your subconscious telling you something, and then you choose to ignore it, and then you look stupid because like your body is literally telling you something feels off, something's uncomfortable. You don't It doesn't need to make sense. It doesn't need to logically make sense. Like your instincts are basically your emotional intelligence. And so listen to it, trust it, right? If someone feels off, feels weird, like you just feel uncomfortable around them for some reason and you don't know what it is, I'm not saying cut them off, but I'm just saying like keep your distance, be wary, you know? And it's just like, I don't know, I used to always dismiss my instincts, and I used to be like, I'm overreacting and being dramatic, like, you know, not everything is about you. But then I was proven wrong. Every time I had an instinct about someone or something, I turn out to be right. And so I just decided from now on, if something feels off, I would rather overreact than underreact, honestly, because I don't want to regret it, right? So I don't know. From now on, I just like trust my instincts. I trust how I feel about people, and I'm usually right about it, you know? And so, and I think it's valid. Like I hate how many times I've invalidated how I felt about something, and then later I'm like, you know, actually I was right, you know? So that's a huge one for me, is just to trust my instincts. And then last but not least, number 20 says your feelings are always valid, however, your actions are not. And let me explain, okay? How someone feels is not within their control, right? Like the way you feel is just something that happens to you. Just feel angry or sad or upset or whatever. Your feelings are always going to be valid and understandable, but how you act is within your control. And so, this is a really good way to think when it comes to people you love hurting you, because like you can always understand why they did it, right? There's always a way to like, you know, rationalize it, right? Because, you know, they went through this thing when they were a kid and that's why they act that way. Well, you know, they experienced this really horrible thing right when they were younger, and that's why they acted that way. And so you rationalize and you forgive. But something you need to always remember is that how they felt in that moment, whether they were triggered or whatever it is valid. They were angry, they were upset, whatever it is, it's cool. The way they acted though was not, you know, they could have chosen to walk away. They could have chosen to not disrespect you. And so I feel like always with our loved ones, we just forgive them and just, you know, make excuses. And like I feel like this way of thinking, you get to validate yourself and also hold the other person accountable, because it's like, I understand how you feel. It's always valid. I get it. You went through things, but the way you acted with me was not okay. And you get to say that, and you get to be angry at the action. And obviously we all know that a single action does not define a person. Just because you acted this way and it upset me, it doesn't mean you're a horrible person. It just means I don't want you to repeat that action again, you know? And so now it's just a way for me, like how I think when someone I care about hurts me. It's like, I can feel upset about it. I get to feel upset about it. Even if I understand why they did it, I still get to be mad. I still get to be upset. I still get to be angry. And I get to say that, you know? And they don't get to manipulate you and be like, oh, but you did this, this, and this. Yeah, I'll take ownership that I triggered you. I'll take ownership that I made you upset, you know? And you get to be upset, but you still don't get to disrespect me like that, you know? And I don't know. I just think it's a good way to think. It's a good way to hold people accountable, and it's a good way to also validate yourself while you're doing that. And so remember, a person's feelings are always valid, but their actions are not, you know? And a person can always take accountability over their actions, and they can be like, oh, well, it was a moment of impulsivity or whatever it is. Like, okay, you can feel impulsive. Take a step back, walk away, come talk to me when you're calm, when your emotions are all over the place. But like, managing your emotions is not my job. Like, that's on you, boo. So I'm just saying. So yeah, those are the 20 things I learned by 20. I think all of them are very important lessons, and I hope some of you guys learned something from everything I just said. I don't know if it's helpful, I don't know if it's inspiring or like thought provoking, but like, I don't know, I tried my best, and yeah, I just think they're pretty good. I will probably write like another list and probably, I don't know, read it by the time I turn 30 and like see what else I've learned in the next 10 years. But we'll see if anything changes. And yeah, this was my recap of the last year of my life, the things I learned, the lessons I came out with. I hope you guys liked this episode. Speaking in a British accent now, just like act like I'm not. I don't know. I like switching accents. But anyways, if you enjoyed this episode, thank you for watching, and I don't know, I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.